analog ohm meter, and we'll put this on 1K on ohms, two of these together, and make sure it's reading 0, which it is. It's close anyway. Now what we're going to do is test the primary and then the secondary. Okay, the primary reading should put the needle over to 0. Let's put this back over here so you can see what I'm doing there. Okay, watch the needle. Okay, that's at 0. That's good. I guess I'll hold the positive in there. And then put this in on the ground. You see it's not moving at all. Oh, wait a second. It did. It's at 7 ohms. So what's going on there? Why wasn't I getting a spark out of this thing? The flywheel has magnets. Oh, maybe the magnets demagnetized. Well, there's a couple things. The points, and the points look good. First we'll try it again, then we'll start working our way into it more. But we already know the coil's good, so that's the first step. Still no spark. Okay, tap, tap, tap. I gotta get rid of that chain. There we go. Didn't take much this time to get the flywheel off, but the magnets are still magnetized. You see that? We'll take some sandpaper to them because they are a little rusty. That's looking better. Okay, let's try this. Get that looking better. Okay, beautiful. And then the points. Okay, then the gap. There we go. Now I'm pretty sure it's 20 gap, 20 thou gap. Let's see, 18, 19, 20. 20 thou. It's too tight. What are these set at? Let's figure it out first. 15. It says right here set points at 0.020. There we go. 15 thou. Alright, we gotta adjust this. Here, this screw here, I believe. So let's get this one that's at 20. Okay, run that down. And then we'll use the big motor. Okay, here we go. Aha, we got spark now. Hopefully you saw that. It's good. So that's all it was, is just cleaning up that the magnets on the flywheel. That's what I assume it was. The reason I'm going to take the flywheel back off is because I want to patch up that coil. I don't want to take this coil out of here. All I want to do is just get it sealed up, because you don't want moisture getting in here. That's what this coating is for, is keep the moisture out of it. This is actually set up that you could put a dual point on it for a twin cylinder, but this is a single cylinder, so you only need one coil. It has a provision so you can do one or the other. So this fits more than just this one motor. So we got spark, yay! So we're gonna get this fixed. Okay, that's the next step, and then we're gonna move on to getting the fuel. Okay, that looks good. Well, I got the coil all sealed up there, so all the loose parts are now sealed up and it's not going to get moisture into it. What I used is Seal All, and it was pretty hardened up. I mean, you could still squeeze it, it would still come out, but it was like this. It was really clumpy. And so I took my propane torch and I kind of heated it, you know, to heat it up. So I was hoping it would get a little thinner. And it worked enough that I was able to get this coated. It's not the prettiest, but it's going to work. And so I got that, and I used a Seal All. So it's gas and oil resistant. It works good for that. And I've seen other people use what they call a Q-dope, a bottle, and it's kind of liquid. It's not a little different than Seal All, but I think the Seal All will work just fine. Still set at 0. Needs to be adjusted a little bit. So how you adjust it is you put it on 1K on ohms, and the needle there, this little knob here, turn it a little bit. This little knob here, you just turn it and dial it in. Okay, there it goes. It's on 0. Alright, so now, where'd that spark plug cable go to? There it is. Get the positive plugged in there, and there we go. We're still good to go. 7 ohms. Hopefully you can see that. Coil's all fixed now. What I'm going to do is get the old fuel out, slosh some new fuel around, and dump that out, and then the gas tank will be ready to go. Because we gotta see if we can start this thing up. I'm debating on doing that. You know, get the flywheel back on, get it so we can see if we can start it in the water barrel. But right now it's pretty cold outside, so what I'm thinking of doing is getting this fin welded back on, and I'll show you what I'm going to be using for that. So I got this all ground down, and I got like a washer in behind here. I got the vice grips on there. We're going to weld up that gap. What I was planning on doing is use an aluma weld across there. These aluma weld rods that I got from Harbor Freight, but I've discovered that what works better, and since I have a small little arc welder, these are arc welding aluminum rods, E4043 DC, right? So what I'm going to do, I watch people use these and they work pretty good. They get penetration where the aluminum rods don't get penetration. So you want penetration when you're welding anything, right? So these will. Now what you got to do first though is you got to heat this up, but not melting temperature of 750 some degrees for the aluminum rods. You only have to heat this up to around 200 degrees. Get your welder hooked up and get it good ground on it and hook it up, and then start over here and just start arc welding across. Now aluminum rods, they have like a flux coating on it, which is like ionized salt, okay, and it makes a mess, okay, but the welds are solid. So after you get through welding, of course you got to get this stuff off, and you got to grind the weld anyway, so that'll take the residue off. So heat it up 200, hit a bead across there. What I'll do is I'll start it and go about to here and stop, and then take this stuff off, and then go across the rest of the way, flip it over, and do the other side. I'm going to hook it up to 220, and I've had good success on using it that way. That's on the house, so I have to take the whole motor and everything over next to where I have the 220 hooked up. So what I can do now is to move on with this thing to finish the Will It Run series, is forget about this for now, take it apart, get everything put back together, get the gas tank cleaned out, and put it in the barrel, and see if I can get it started. Since I got spark, it should start. Alright, so I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and move on with that. This part 2 of the video series on the Elgin motor is done now, and the next one we'll go ahead and get the fuel tank cleaned out and put all the flywheel and all that stuff back on, and then we'll see if it'll start, hopefully.